What is composition? Now today we are going to talk about the composition and it's related to the spacing. How we make use of negative and positive spacing. So of course, previously we have talked about the balancings of the composition. So now today we are we'll talk about how we make the positive become negative. Now I have to write like this. Usually when we want an object, we look at the positive part, okay, positive side. So that means we make the positive to positive into positive, all right? But the other one is we look at the negative and make the negative become negative. That is usually what we do. But the next thing is we make use of positive into negative and we make the negative into positive. Now, of course, there is partly positive and partly negative. Okay, now, how we make use of this? Now, when we talk about this, it's either in all these positive and negatives is related to form, positive form or negative form. Okay, form. So, and also it's a space. What I mean by space is in Malay we call ruang. So this is a spacing. Now let's say if we draw a pot, but we draw in this way. You didn't see the inside. Now what we want like this, that means we don't bother about the inside. Okay, if you draw in this way and you want this, and you also need this, you need this, you see, and you need this. So what is that? So this is positive. But this one is negative. So what I mean by negative means that you need this space. You want this. You don't want it, you remove this one, like you cut and then you throw away. So the positive become negative. Okay, the negative become positive. You are painting here. What you want is the outside. Whereas for this one, what you want is inside. But when you draw positive, the negative is important or not? Equivalently is important, because if the negative is wrong, then positive also wrong. So how we make use of this? So now I'm going to show you all a simple way. Okay, simple way. Like, let's say I'm going to draw a fish. A very easy thing. This is easier to let everybody understand. And not draw another one. Another fish. Now this time I make my paper into how you divide it is not important. Okay, you even cross or whatever you want to do, any method. Okay, so now after you do that, this is what we want. I want here to be dark. That means I want here to have color. Now this is hard edge. For the very beginning, we make it become hard edge. So here also the same. So about here, I want this part. Since we call negative and positive, right? And then here I want this part. But this is hard edge. Okay. So now for this one, I do the detail, same thing. I think I cut with the other side. Same, it is the same. This is what we want. This is what we want. And this one is what we want here, but the background we don't want. I want to leave it white. So it's become like that. Then in the real form, when we do painting, you paint in this way, it become graphic. So now how I make it become not a graphic. I still have to develop from here, no. It's just starting point. It's not the end, some more. So now how I am going to make it become, of course I cut into 4 parts, I can only cut into 2 parts, it's easier, but I purposely did that. So see, I light off, vanish, here, and vanish. Here also the same. Make clear here, but vanish. So this one, vanish. See, it turned out to be something like that. I have to draw lightly. So you see, these are 2 kind of form. But now talk about how we arrange instead of like this. How many types we still can do. First one, we must understand, make use of the alphabet to make our composition. Let's say A-shape composition. So what is A? A-shape composition, it can be something like, let's say, this is an object, and then this is something like this. So this is a box, anything, or glass, or anything. And then you see the place that arranged is not the same, or there's some plate here, there's some more things here. So see this composition become like a triangle shape. See, A equivalent to triangle. So but in Mandarin there is a words, Chinese calligraphy, we call U. U also is the top small, bottom is bigger. So you see where the space, negative space is here. So we also call spacing. This is usually is object, but object is positive. Okay, so that means most of people, when they draw this one, they just consider of what they want to draw. They don't bother the space, but the space is very important. Usually for the negative and positive space, we advise that you use either the ratio of 1 to, mean the ratio, this is called golden ratio. Alright, golden ratio is either 1 to 9. For this one, golden ratio is applied, of course, different places. We also have the similar name of golden ratio, like where you put your important thing, we call golden section. And then how you divide the golden section, you have a golden ratio. But now this golden ratio only apply on the main subject and what is not your main subject, not the focus. Okay, so your main subject is like 1 to 9. What is 1? 1 is the least. Usually the thing that is less is more important than the things that have bigger quantity. So this is a very big contrast. Usually in the country, only one king, okay, or only one president. The rest are the helpers or citizen. So the most are the citizen, not the president or the king, but the one who is the least is the most important. So in the painting also is the same. We only focus on 1 or 2 things. The rest is not so important. And of course, it's not immediately become not important. It is graduationally become not important. So maybe there is a very important object, 1 or 2, and then beside it, the minor object, not the major one, and then after it, there is not something that is just background, is not important, right? So, or you can use 2 to 8. 2 is the important thing, your focus point, or 3 to 7. Okay, but what about 6 to 4? Not so good, but still okay. At least there is a comparison. You can see the difference. But what about 5, 50 by 50? Never use this ratio. Even in other types of composition, like the arrangement of color, 50% to 50%, no. The object, the quantity of the object, 5 to 5. 5 object, 5 circle, rounding, 5 square object or rectangle object, no, because it's too equivalent. Okay, we have to make it more contrast. The more contrast you have, then the easier to let people focus on. But if the contrast is very less or totally no contrast, then you don't have focusing point. So like that, you cannot call it as a good composition. So you must make sure that the color that you use, like 90% is cool color, 10% is a warm color, and your warm color there is your main subject. Okay, so A is like this. Then what about got B? Okay, A, B, C. Now I'm talking about C shape composition. C, of course, there's no shape of that. It just talk about the object. So C is like this. Like let's say this is your paper, but this is a tree. Okay, and then this is a tree trunk, branches, and then bushes over here, and then got a lot of rocks, and then maybe there's someone sitting here, and then fishing. So this one what we call C-shape composition. Okay, so where is the C? No, the C is not this one. This is negative space. The C is this positive form. Okay, but because of this positive form, too much, you only focus on here. What you see is here. So this is your focusing point. Remember, focusing point fell on, if you cut the paper into 9 parts, this is called golden ratio of the composition, and this is the cross point. The cross point, and also within this space is called golden section, the best place to put your main subject. Okay, and this is the major, this is the minor. Of course, you can say the whole stretch is the important thing, but among here, it's not even it's not here, but here, that is still among here. All right, so or vertically here, or even of course also can say the corner. This part are important, these are not important. It's possible, but it's never important until the end. Usually not so important, slowly become important, that not important. Usually like that. But in art, this is only for you to have a reference, okay, have an idea to do your own composition. But this is not a definite answer. Okay, you can create your own composition which is not related to this, or is not the same as what I said now, but it's still balanced, and still you can, the audience still can look at the focus point and know that which part is your focusing point, or that one is important. Okay, now other than C, I'm talking about L-shaped composition. Now L, of course, C can be like that, reverse C. Okay, of course, that means it's not curved in this way, it curved in the other way. L also the same, it can be like this, or reverse, still under L, reverse L, upside down L. Okay, now I use the former type, this one. Okay, like let's say there is a building, a tall building here. What shape is not important. Anyhow, the sunlight come from here, so everything dark, and then until the ground got shadow, and then in the shadow here, there is someone selling things. To put an umbrella, cover it, selling something. So if the background still have something at the back, but very blur, not important. If you have it or not having it, is okay. But what you would see now here, this is the dark tone. Then this is L shape. See? And then this is our focus. Focus is here. Okay, always must have focus point. So like this one also have a focus point. Focus. Or you can focus here. It depends on how you color. Maybe your focus is here. And then this one is the minor one, the background behind, something behind. This is not being blocked. This is being blocked. This is not blocking, but on the side, this also partly is important. So it close to it. Maybe this is the first focus point. and then there's a second focus point, but maybe a lot of grapes, but only one is important. So that means you still have to focus on the focus point. So now, of course, it can be reversed. See, now talk about O shape. O shape composition, like let's say this is a plate, and then you have a fish here with some things beside. Now this is, you just look at the painting drawing itself, is an O shape composition, okay, but in Chinese also, they have Chinese words have no round words, you know, but British or English alphabet, they don't have square shape of composition. They don't have square writing. So that means like Chinese, they have this one we call Kou or Hui. So usually this one also equivalent to O shape composition, okay. Can we call it as zero shape composition? You can, okay, you can. It's up to you. It's anyhow, we just play with the, make use of it to make explanation, to make us easy only. So just like if for window is not the round one, it's a rectangle type. So even if you draw like that, and then the window is open up like that, okay. So this one all is dark. This one maybe this is the part you want to color, but this one is blur off. But this one is all the dark part, and then this is your bright side. But after that you draw this, but you still don't have focus point. So how? Maybe you are making use of some parents and the kids. Parents is scolding your kids or do anything, play with them or anything. Then this one is look like this composition looks like a triangle shape, let's say, right? Two kids. So it looks like a triangle shape composition. So this is your focus point, but this one means that here inside the O shape there is a triangle shape composition. See? So this one is O and A, but your A is more important than the O, but O is the composition. So that means you have a space here, alright? And also we have, let's say, S-shaped composition. You can make use of any alphabet, okay? At any alphabet. So many people misunderstand. They thought that what is S? S, they draw a snake, and then they say it's an S-shaped composition. No, snake is the shape of the snake. Okay, it's not related to the composition. So when talk about composition, the river also is S-shaped, but it's not to talk about this. Actually, how you arrange the object, the things itself is not S, but how you place it into S-shaped composition. And in S, it's not only got two spacing, like this one is we have a spacing here, but S is not going to sit like that. It can be curvy like that, or even go up and line. This is still S, understand? So now, how we make use of S? Like let's say, I have a building here, I have a house here, then house here, then here got a bridge, then another house here, then house here, see, even whether it's come over here or not important, as long as you have something. So you see, the thing become like S. So this one maybe still have something, okay, be something but blur. So it's an S. So you have a spacing, Yes, so it's crooked. So now what about the bridge here? Maybe this is a river here, but not related to the, nothing related to this S, this river. Okay, the river can come from where? But the important thing is the arrangement, how you blur off, So this one is S shape. And S also, it can be in S like this, can be S like this, okay, and also can be S like this. Understand? Lying down. So in Chinese, there's no, you couldn't find an S in Chinese calligraphy, but there's a words, a calligraphy words we call gong. Okay, it's an elbow. Okay, so and then this one is also like we can call it as S-shaped composition. Okay, so now other than that, I will show you use of another one.